Hello everyone, good morning and welcome to Live at the Waterhole. It's wonderful to be back with you here. My name is Amy and I'll be with you for the show today. And here we are in Botswana at Elephant Pan. What a beautiful scene. You can see there are elephants here, which is always a great way to start. So much water, and the mopani trees are so beautiful and green. This really is one of the prettiest spots that we have as part of the show. Now remember everyone that it is a live and interactive show, so please do chat to me and say hello. It's been a while since I have been on the show. Early December was the last time. So I'd love to say hi to you all and hear who's all with us, what you're looking forward to seeing today, maybe any updates that I may have missed as we just enjoy the next 2 hours and anything and everything that the waterholes have to offer. Catherine, hello, good morning. Thank you for saying hi. It's wonderful to have you on board with us today. And I saw there was a tiny little elephant that was with the others here. So that's always nice to see a herd moving through. Alice, so you would like to know if elephants close their nostrils when they go underwater. What an interesting question. So unlike, let's say, hippos, for example, that sort of have a bit of skin that will close off that nostril when they go underneath, elephants don't have that. So often when they are in the water, they'll stick up their trunks like a snorkel. If they go under, I'm not sure, maybe they do pinch it closed, but I think just like when we sort of breathe out and make bubbles and that sort of thing, or there's an air pocket that stops the water from going in or up the nose, that might be the case with the elephants. Stephanie, hello. Thank you so much. It is wonderful to be back with you here at the Waterhole. Muzi, you say good morning. It's also great to have you with us. Wow, just look at that view. I never get tired of the reflections here at Elephant Pan. Teresa, hello, good morning. You want to know about animals at night time and if all animals sleep, and how does it work with needing to protect themselves, particularly for those who can be predated upon. So Teresa, no, not all animals sleep at night. In fact, many animals come sort of awake at night or active at night more so than in the daytime. Many predators, for example. There also are other nocturnal type of animals, even birds like owls, for example, that sort of move around at nighttime. So the other animals, let's say elephants, for example, since we have them here, they don't necessarily sleep like we do, in terms of sort of putting your head down and going into an unconscious state for 8 hours or so. They will have a time of rest. Oh wow, there's a big bull elephant walking there behind the group. You can see how much taller he is than the others. And even giraffes and impalas, zebras, they won't necessarily completely sleep. And as you say, that is because they need to still be alert. Part of the way that they protect themselves is that, especially for some of the smaller prey species, they don't move around very much. At nighttime, their senses are somewhat compromised. They don't have the eyesight that's adapted for nighttime activity like leopards and lions, for example. And so they need to sort of sometimes stick to open areas, which helps them to be able to see around them and not have anything sneak up on them. So that's one way. I know with impalas in particular, they do that. As soon as the evening time comes, they'll gravitate towards open areas and huddle up close together. Then you might have it that animals take turns. So, you know, some will be sitting down for a time and resting, maybe closing their eyes, where others within their group are keeping a lookout. So different species have different ways of doing it. For those that are more daytime based, at nighttime they do have a time of rest and sleep in inverted commas, but it's not like we do. But there are other animals that are in the daytime completely sort of tucked away and resting. For example, like an aardwolf is quite strictly a nocturnal predator, even aardvark or something like that comes out at night and is more active then. So I hope that answers your question, Teresa. Well, from Botswana, we are going to head over to Kenya and see what's happening at Oldonyo. Oh, it's lovely to see the scenes here again. What a beautiful sunny day. And we have some giraffe that are making their way to hopefully have a drink. Jive Bunny, hello, good morning. Thanks. Yes, I am hosting the show between drives. In fact, I will be hosting a few more coming up in the next 2 and a bit weeks, in between where I'm filling in. So, yes, I'm very grateful that I do have the show today because we've had so much rain in the Lowveld that I wasn't able to go out on, be part of the drive this morning. We were standing by waiting for a gap, but we didn't get one. Hopefully, though, this afternoon it will lift enough for us to be able to get out there. But, yes, there are some, I suppose, scary weather predictions for the Lowveld area this coming weekend and into next week. So we just have to see what happens in terms of the whole area. But for us, we're all safe, and we will hopefully be able to get back out on a drive soon. Well, we lost Odonyo there, so we've come over here to Moela, and what a difference a bit of rain makes. My goodness me, this place is so green and full of grass, and there are some elephants that are just loving it, I can imagine. Darling, you'd like to know if giraffe tongues are all the same length? So I think, darling, it does depend on the size of the giraffe itself, but they are all very long, reaching up to about 45 centimeters on sort of a big bull giraffe. Of course, the larger the animal in terms of giraffe, whether it be a younger giraffe, will of course have a shorter tongue, and naturally those will correlate age and size of the animal or the giraffe to the size and length of the tongue. But yes, in general, you would be looking at giraffes all having a very similar length tongue, from what I'm aware of, in terms of the different species and subspecies as well. But I think it would correlate to, the size of the giraffe itself. Willow, you want to know if elephants can drown? Yes. In fact, any animal that can't naturally breathe underwater or have the ability to do that is able to drown if they can't get oxygen. And although it would take probably quite a lot to drown an elephant, let's say in a flood, or a little one is stuck in a waterhole, or anything like, an accident that happens with the animals, or let's say taken by a croc and held underwater. Those are all possibilities, and yes, an elephant will die if it is held underwater and can't breathe. Wow, there's another elephant arriving on the bank. I think this is just paradise for Ellies, isn't it? You couldn't really ask for more water everywhere. Lots of, I think, some mud that they're splashing on themselves. Lots of bird life as well. I can't exactly identify which species they all are flying around. Oh, wow, that one elephant just lay down, flopped right over. You can't even see him anymore in the grass. There come some more. I think watching an elephant walk on a game trail is one of the most incredible things to witness. I don't know why, but you just have this feeling of this ancient landscape, this trail that's been worn by animal after animal, and elephants being one of the main contributors to actually creating those paths to and from water and through the bush. And how well these Ellies must know these trails. All right, let's head over to Twin Pan. Wow, well, this is a beautiful spot, isn't it? And we had Cylinder Reserve in Botswana, and there are a lot of hippos. And a egret, I think, that is having a ride surfing. We used to watch this a lot in the Sabi Sands as well, with a grey heron that used to ride the back of a hippo. And basically what it allows that bird to do, so it's not just about getting a Uber service or a taxi ride across a waterhole, but it allows it to get to other food sources, basically, that, you know, other insects or things that it might not have been able to reach because it's too deep for the bird. So that's why they use the backs of hippos like this. That looks like a lot of fun. I don't think I'd ever try and do that myself. But if I was a bird, like an egret or heron, it would be great to be able to stand on the back of a hippo. Kenny, hi. You want to know why do hippos yawn so massively? So hippos have an amazing ability to open their mouths really, really wide at I think it's 170 degrees, so just less than completely horizontal. And it's all about display. And so being able to show off their massive teeth, basically, that are in the mouth, and those sort of tusks that show dominance and strength, basically. That is why they yawn, or able to yawn like that. Oh, there's a hammerkop flying around too. One of them flicking some dung around.
See you out on safari.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature, live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
If you love watching Wild Earth, here's a little tip. Become a member. You can gain access to the channel ad-free, you can rewind and re-watch sightings, and you can join our Tuesday live safaris. There's also behind the scenes videos, fireside chats, and every safari live episode, whenever you want it. It's just a better way to stay connected to nature.
Already love it. It means a new year to start your birding list for this year and see if you can improve on the amount of species that you saw last year, even if it's just by a little, which is always quite exciting. And I love a little bit of a challenge, so you know, it gives you a goal, and one goal for the year, which is quite nice, and becomes quite a lot of fun. There are some smaller birds in between. I'm not exactly sure what they are, though. I haven't been able to get a very clear view of them. There might be lapwings or some sort of a water bird. Maybe young Egyptian geese, I'm not sure. Well, one looks like a young Egyptian goose at least. Oh, there's a woolly necked stork, another bird to add to the list. Hi Tennis, nice to hear from you. You are just saying that you missed the first bit of the show and you'd like to know what the weather is looking like for Sunset Drive at Sandringham. So I was just saying that rain is predicted, but at the moment it's actually lifted since late this morning into the early afternoon. So only time will tell exactly what will happen closer towards 4 p.m. We're crossing our fingers that we'll have a gap to be able to go out, but realistically over the next sort of week there is a lot of rain predicted for the area, so we will do our very best to get out and drive, but we also have to be safe out there and make sure that we don't put anyone at risk either with the amount of water that may come. So we're hopeful, but we will hopefully see you later to this. Catherine, wow, your Wild Earth list is on 432 and you are hoping to get to 500 by the end of the year. That would be wonderful, Catherine. I really hope that we can get you there, and we'll be sure to point out whatever it is that we see. Okay, well, we are going to head over to South Africa now and see what's happening at Tau in Madikwe. Another place that I'm very happy to see today, and wow, it is so beautiful here with all of the grass and greenery and mountains and animals. And this is another great spot for birding. We often see many water birds, but also now that it's summer, there's always the chance that many of the locations being waterholes and sometimes natural sort of marshy swamp areas to see some special birds as well, maybe some migrants or rarities. So we will definitely have to keep our eyes peeled for anything special. I'm always looking for something like a lesser moorhen. So here we see a lot of the common moorhens, but a lesser one would be really special. Maybe even a dwarf bittern. Koala Joe, hello, thank you. It's good to be back. It's wonderful to just be able to enjoy the waterholes again and see so many places that I enjoy with you all throughout the year, and just to see how they've changed as well. That's always something special with all the rain that has fallen. Paula, you were asking about birds and do any birds mark their territories? Yes, Paula, birds are, oh, there's a little wildebeest calf. Sorry, I'm just noticing now, they're so small. But yes, birds do mark territories. In fact, lots of them are highly territorial birds, and it can be done in different ways. With birds, it's not exactly the same as like predators or other herbivores that are territorial. It is a lot to do with their call that they make. They do very often call very loudly. They also can display in an area to show that they are present there, so that can also get quite interesting. And then there is an element of scent as well, whether that's through urination or defecation in a particular area that then marks it as their own. So yes, they can be territorial. Anita, yes, it's a very beautiful scene and the colors are lovely, especially now with those yellow flowers that we're looking at. There's a giraffe in the background. And it always amazes me just how light in color these baby wildebeest are. So they would have all been born about a month ago or so. And they do often group together, all the young ones sitting and resting. There's one there that wants to be right by mom, probably wants some milk. Okay, well, from Tau, we're going to head back over to some elephants at Elephant Pan. Ben, hi. You asked a question about elephants and you wanted to know how close to the surface are the blood vessels that are inside of an elephant's ear. So for those of you who may not know, when it comes to an elephant's ear, the skin there is a lot thinner than the rest of the body. So on average, all over the elephant, it can reach a thickness of 2 to 3 centimeters, how thick the skin is. But over the ear, it goes right down to just a few millimeters in thickness. And that is part of the reason why it's such a useful tool for them to cool down the blood that flows through the ear before it heads to the brain and the rest of the body. And so that helps them cool down a lot. It's also why they love to throw water behind the ear, because it has a bigger effect on them quicker than anywhere else. Solly, it's a great question, and I think it's something that is quite sweet that we watch and be like, oh, that's so cute, when a baby elephant holds onto its mom's tail. But I think, for me, logically, it's just about not losing her. It's a bit of a comfort thing, and it can, especially when they're very small, and the movement of the herd can be very overwhelming, but also from a safety point of view, to be able to be behind mom and know that, okay, well, mom's in front of me, so I don't have to worry about anything in my way. So I do think it helps that little one also to keep up with everyone and not get lost too. So Anita, there's quite a few bird calls that are calling, but I did hear that sort of like whistly one, if that's the one you're talking about. That sounds like a water thickney that's calling. Very beautiful call, and of course often we hear it around water where they live. There's also a grey hornbill that's definitely calling. Anita, sorry, I've just taken some time to listen with my volume right up. And that's the one that it does sound similar. I think there was a thickney earlier, a water one specifically, but now those sort of, I don't want to imitate it because I'm not very good, but there's a sort of a background call that stands out. I think that's the one you're talking about, and that would be from the African grey hornbill. Also very similar to that is a magpie shrike. So between the three of them, depending on how they're calling, they can often sound very much the same. So that sort of do 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 do, that is the African grey hornbill. Joy Boy, hi. Joy Boy, sorry. You are asking, you're actually wondering how dangerous snakes would be to elephants. And I would say they don't really have too much to worry about, but they can definitely be bitten. It is possible. But generally the amount of venom that would be needed to actually kill an elephant or have very serious effects would have to be a lot, in terms of just the body mass that an elephant has, and it's able to absorb, the venom in terms of dilute it for its body size, so it doesn't have as serious of an effect. But it can happen, especially the more toxic ones. I love these two boys in the water. They doing a little bit of a greeting, and I think they might do a bit of playing as well. Maybe not so playful for them, more serious in terms of just trying to see who's the stronger individual.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. This is action-packed.
My full name is Maxine Gaines. Most people that know me really well call me Max. I'm a mum. I have two boys. One is 16 years old and one is 14 years old. I'm a very, very proud mama of my two boys. I've just always been passionate about leopards. I'm passionate about their conservation. I'm just passionate about everything to do with leopards. I love them.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
It's amazing how they just carry on doing their thing, not bothered by the rain or whatsoever. I think it is somewhat different for water birds though. They are very much used to being on the ground and in the rain. Oh, sorry, on the ground and in the water or near the water. Okay, well, we are going to head over to Founders in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. Oh, well, it's great to see this view again, and it looks like Mom and her little one were having a little bit of a rest here at the waterhole. A few oxpeckers on Mom's back there. I wonder if she's going to actually head to the water, or if they're going to move away. I love that we're able to have rhinos on the show here at Mantis Founders. Clifford, yes, absolutely. So in the summertime, in the areas where they have summer rainfall, particularly in the eastern half of South Africa, yes, animals do come to waterholes way less because they can find water all over. I mean, I've seen that for myself at Sandringham now. Even the Timbavati River is not necessarily needed to be visited with all the pans and sort of temporary water sources that are filled now. And the dams and water holes, just you don't see the same amount of animals. They're more spread out. And so you're more likely to just find animals while you're driving than on really hot winter days or in the early summer before the rains come. Then you go and visit those water holes in particular, because you know that the animals need to get water. This little one is having a little wee break and getting blown away with the wind at the same time. Jaguar, interesting. Do baby white rhinos already have that lawn mower mouth from birth? So from the babies that I've seen, it isn't quite as clearly wide and flat when they are sort of newborn, but it is clear that they have a flat mouth and not a very pointy mouth like a black rhino. So it does get more prominent as they get older, and now you can see this little one that's probably maybe close to a year now or so, possibly just over that, but it's very clear that it has that flat mouth, although nowhere near the size of mom, of course. But yes, I would say it's clear from when they're born that it is a white rhino calf, and you can see that by the shape of the head. Darren, hi. You are from England and you are wanting to know how long will a baby rhino suckle for. And it's basically anywhere from 12 to 18 months they will still suckle from mom, although they start sort of eating grass already from around 3 or 4 months old. And yeah, they will possibly even suckle a little bit longer if they can, but by then mom will probably be already starting to push off the older one, and if she is pregnant, being ready to give birth to her next calf. So it's an interesting one. The little ones will sort of stay with mom as long as they can, really, before sort of 2 to 4 years would be roundabout when she would have her next calf, and then she would need to prioritize that little one, and the older female or male would need to sort of go and start being more independent. Ooh, all right, let's head over to Jack's now, where there are some eggs. Oh, this is cool. I feel like there was water here at one stage, and it's dried up. There's more coming though. They don't have to worry, I don't think. But I don't know exactly which nest this is. It looks like one of the sort of platform floating nests that little grebes would maybe make. But there could be various other species that it could look the same. It looks like the eggs are quite big, but I know that size can be different just because of the way that the camera is and the lighting, and also in comparison we don't really have anything to compare it to. But I assume that the owners of these eggs will be somewhere nearby, or at least come and visit. So they belong to a pair of stilts, I believe, also water birds. So it makes sense that they also make a sort of platform-like nest in the mud like this, that also allows for the water to rise without completely destroying the nest. And also, yeah, like I said, the eggs are a bit big and different from that of little grebes that I saw at Mabula actually in December, which was such a wonderful sighting we had there with those little eggs. So these are a lot, I would say, more camouflaged than those ones. So this, I assume, are blackwing stilts. Must be close by, but just look how it all blends in together. It really is so well camouflaged. They are the stilts, well, at least one of them. Lady Macbeth, hello. You say that you've seen a 5-year-old white rhino calf suckling. One of the most ridiculous things that you've ever seen. I mean, I agree with you. That is what it is, though, in terms of whether it's an elephant or a rhino. The baby, inverted commas, because I don't think a 5-year-old elephant or rhino can be considered a baby anymore, or a calf. But you know, if mom is expecting her next little one, or has already had the next little one and has milk available, they might take a chance. You know, these animals are, they're not just cut off now. Okay, well, I'm past my researched suckle date, so at 6 months, not a day more, I'm going to stop suckling. So they, you know, if they have a opportunity to just have a little bit of an easy meal, as it were, and have a bit of milk from mom, then they'll do that. It's often the mom that stops them or shouts at them or doesn't allow it to happen, because they need to reserve that energy source for their newest offspring. Well, we've come back over here to Elephant Pan, and the elephants are still swimming, having a bit of a pool party. How lovely to see. seems like just the 3 Ellies are wanting to have a proper swim. It'll be interesting to see if the herd decides to join. And maybe a 4th there has been swimming too. Although the little one is basically swimming. There's a tiny one in between there. You can just see the trunk sticking up. It's definitely having a good swim there. And now deciding to move very quickly. That's interesting. I wonder if something spooked them. Oh, that one just head planted into the water, just dived right in. There's a squirrel making a heck of a noise as well, doing some shouting. Don't know if it's for territorial calling or if it's alarming. Eric, hi. You are wanting to know if elephants are able to uproot a tree with its trunk. Yes, absolutely. I've seen it happen myself, and it is quite remarkable. But of course, smaller trees, it's a lot easier. But even larger trees pushing over marula, and some of them not only snap, but also then they pull up the roots on the other side, or they dig up and then push over the tree so that the roots are sort of exposed. So yes, they are definitely capable of doing that. All right, well, from these swimming ellies, let's head over to another at Camelthorn. Well, he is having a good drink as well as a bit of a splash. You can see the darker areas. Well, we've hopped all the way to the the Western Cape now, where we are at Stony Point with some dassies, and these are rock hyraxes, and it looks like there's a little one there that seems to be climbing on, I assume to be mom, and oh, there's two, I think. We do love baby dassies. They are adorable. Oh wow, that wasn't one. That was one on top of another one. Very all over each other. This might be mom on the right, and those are all her little ones. There was one very small one there though. My goodness. I think this is her latest little group of babies, which are very cute. That really is adorable, my goodness. My name is Amy, and behind the camera with me is Paul. And I mean, to be able to share it with all of you. Fingers crossed, and I'll make sure I wear my lucky leopard socks as well.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
Would you like to know what an elephant's favorite food is? You could ask me questions like that in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive from the heart of Africa. Over here. Watch Safari Live and connect with nature.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime? Wild Earth Travel's newsletter is your passport to a magical journey. Explore exclusive travel options featuring special offers at stunning Wild Earth locations, and all hosted by your favorite presenters. Don't miss out. Head over to our website and subscribe to the Wild Earth Travel newsletter today and stay in the know on all our unforgettable adventures. Wild Earth Travel, where Africa comes alive.
That is at Founders. Ah, a rhino and some springboks in the background there. So lovely to see. Winnie, yes. Rhinos definitely can sneeze. I've heard a rhino sneeze before. And, any sort of irritation in the nose is going to force sort of an instinctual reaction to blow it out. And I can't say it is quite the same sound like that of a elephant. But, yes, it definitely can happen. I don't think it's as dramatic. Well, we did want to do some birding today, so let's head over to the hide. Ooh, that looks like a bird of prey, and I'm just checking to see that bill looks very yellow, so I'm thinking that it is a yellow-billed kite. I also see, I thought that was a fork in the tail, but I think it's actually the wings that are coming down looking like they're forming a fork, but I think the tail's sort of tucked in there at the back. But yes, it does look to be, just from what I saw there, if that bill is completely yellow, then I know we've seen them here before, the yellow-billed kites. Kenny, which bird of prey makes the smallest nest? I'm just going to go with some of the smallest birds of prey that I know probably making the smallest nest. I'm not sure exactly, but something like a pygmy falcon, for example. And if you classify owls as birds of prey, then something like the scops owl would also have a very small, I've actually seen it in a tiny little hole in a tree. So I think that would also be very, very small. Well, we're going to leave this bird of prey and head over to the penguins that are at Stony Point. So nice to see these penguins again, and we're leading up to one of their peak breeding times, although they can breed in various months of the year. I think it's March, I stand to be corrected, that we see them quite a high number of nests and chicks and eggs, well, at least the time where they couple off and find nesting spots. Solly, you would like to know if any of the penguin species considered birds of prey. It's a great question, and I actually had to think about it for a second, because penguins do hunt. They catch fish, swallow them, and in that way they are a vicious predator that is a carnivore, and goes after fish and actually swallows them. It doesn't kill them first or anything, from what I understand. It just goes down the hatch. But in order to be classified as a bird of prey, it needs to be an animal or a bird that uses its talons to catch its prey, basically. True birds of prey will catch using their sharp talons from the air, and penguins are aquatic hunters. So they don't fall into the category as a bird of prey. Speaking of which, Ross, you would like to know if all birds of prey are monogamous. So most of them are, forming very strong bonds between a pair, but no, not all of them are. I believe that it is harriers are one of the species that are polygynous, so the male will have multiple females that they mate with, and it has been recorded that even in what would be considered a monogamous pair, they can have mating outside of their pair, which can happen even if it is rare. So yes, it's not all birds of prey, but species like eagles, ospreys, even falcons being very strongly bonded and sort of committed in their pair to each other. Right, we're going to head back over to Founders. Ah, lovely. How beautiful to have some zebras. Our first zebras today, actually. So it's nice to see them. Tess, you would like to know how fast a zebra can really run. I believe their sort of top speed at sprint is about 65 kilometers or 40 miles an hour, which is very impressive. But usually, because they don't run sort of in a straight line, they, I would say, hardly ever reach that sort of speed. It's probably maybe around 50 or so kilometers an hour, because what they'll do, they'll run and then they'll turn, and then they'll run and they'll turn. So that speed that they're moving is slowed down because of that zigzagging pattern that they take when they're trying to escape something like a lion hunting them. love how they all lined up here. One bum next to the next one. Ben, yes, I think there would definitely be a possibility for leucistic zebras to exist. In fact, I think it has been recorded where the black is sort of a more blonde color, a very light brown rather than the black itself. So it can occur in basically many animals that have melanin, or melanin in them can exist with a variation or sort of genetic, let's say, I don't want to say a default, but something that a recessive gene is the word that I'm looking for, that causes this to happen in animals, whether it is white lions or white zebras or melanistic. So then there's too much melanin that's produced, which I believe there was a zebra in Kenya that was recorded, a foal, that had more black than white. So those sort of variations can occur in zebra. So melanistic marble, I think there's an element of geophagia happening here with licking the soil. I do think that there's been some sort of lucerne put there. We saw the rhino feeding from it and the zebras in the background. So I'm not sure if it's salt in particular. That could be one of the things that's in the soil that they are licking up, but it could also just be the nutrients from the soil itself. But yes, it is, they're not eating grass here closest to us. That's more happening in the background.
Wild Earth Travel has a green season special just for South Africans. Explore Botswana's Okavango, a remarkable mosaic of delta and savanna teeming with wildlife. Stay in elegant, luxurious tented camps deeply connected to the wilderness. Discover the Okavango on exciting game drives and tranquil boat journeys. Share stories beneath the stars, remembering what it means to safari through Africa's wild south. Wild Earth Travel. We're waiting for your call.
Would you like to know at what age a buffalo calf gets its horns? These are questions that you can ask me in real time. Our safaris are live and interactive here in the heart of Africa. Join me on Safari Live and connect with nature.
Join our expert guides at dawn for a live, immersive safari as the bush comes to life.
Found ourselves a chameleon, and look how he's changed color.
Every sunrise brings new discoveries.
Pound for pound, a leopard is one of the strongest cats around.
Ask questions, share your thoughts, and connect with nature live and in real time.
Great excitement, great happiness.
Start your day with adventure.
Would land and irritate the zebra or burrow into the skin or lay their larvae there. Any parasitic sort of invertebrate that would bother the zebra, it would help to basically get rid of them or have them not land on that individual. Oh, that's a very cute little zebra. Oh, I think Mom's just trying to groom you, little one. Oh, shame. I got a fright. I think it scares easily, though. Oh, there's a crow there. Cape crow that's landed, completely black in color. This zebra looks like she is about to burst. Expecting a little one any day now, I'm sure. Well, from these zebras, we're going to head back over to the elephants at Elephant Pan for the last little bit of the show. Oh, and there's a hippo. I was waiting to see it. I'd heard that it was here, but I just saw it come up and go down again there nearest to us. Well, these elephants have definitely had a wonderful time here at the pan, pretty much being here. I don't know if it was all the same elephants the entire length of the show, because this is where we started, but everyone has had some water. They've had a little bit of a swim, and slowly they're starting to actually head off now. Just a few still left. I can't believe we've come to the end of the show today. It has gone by so quickly. but it was wonderful to have you all with us. I really enjoyed just all the different places that we got to visit today. Oh, there's another hippo, so a few here in the water at the moment. And also one or two new pans for me, at least, that have popped up now in the new year, which is lovely. So I'm looking forward to being back with you in a few days. We will spend some more time together at the Waterhole show. Otherwise, hopefully, I'll be out on Sunset Safari in the next week at least, where we'll be out on drive again. But to everyone who joined us today, and to all of you who sent through all your comments and questions, it was really so lovely to hear from you. So much interaction, and so many of you enjoying and participating in the show, which is what we love. And of course, Live at the Waterhole will be back again tomorrow. I won't be with you, but we'll be back at the same time in the same place right here on Wild Earth. And of course, you can tune in for Mara Live and Safari Live this afternoon, which is coming up soon. But once again, thank you so much from myself and the team, and we'll see you soon. Keep well, everyone. Goodbye for now.